Language immersion programs have been growing in Minnesota as more and more parents want their kids to learn another language.
10 years ago, there were fewer than 30 programs in the state. Now there are more than 70. So what second language should our children learn? Good question. Here's Heather Brown.
So you have a 5-year-old. What language would you like her to learn?
English.
What besides English?
Probably Spanish.
Probably Mandarin.
So she speaks Spanish and English right now. I think it would be great for her to get some of the Slavic languages.
What language should children learn?
There is no should.
Elaine Tyrone is with the U of M program on promoting foreign languages.
I think the most important thing is for children to learn 2 languages as they're growing up.
18% of Americans speak more than one language. For Europeans, it's more than half.
We know from the research that once a child has learned a second language, then it is easier to add a third.
Even if you learn Spanish in elementary school, it'll still help you learn Chinese later?
Absolutely, because you have learned how to function with 2 languages.
And it makes you more competitive as a person in terms of the job world.
I did have a 5-year-old. I put her in a Spanish immersion school.
It makes you more accepting, I guess, and open to other cultures.
Why Spanish?
Spanish is spoken outside of the classroom more than any other language in Minnesota.
By 2050, the UN estimates India will have 1.7 billion people, followed by China, Nigeria, and the U.S.
Does that mean we should be learning Chinese and Hindi?
Not necessarily.
Chinese would be great also. It just seems like there's so many dialects and it's hard to know which one's the right one.
The question is, what communities do we need to interact with? Do we want to interact with?
They speak Amharic, which is Ethiopian language.
I think one of the things to think about is whether the language has a role in the child's life.
Of the 70 immersion programs in Minnesota, just under 50 are Spanish, 10 are Mandarin, and 7 are French.
Do we know what are going to be the popular languages in 50 years?
No, we do not. We would never have predicted Chinese even 15 years ago.
When they get older, they'll be able to talk. My wife and I don't speak Spanish as fluently, so they'll be able to plot right under our noses.
It's probably worth it, though.
Absolutely.
The advice our expert gives to parents: don't necessarily focus on the specific language, but rather the program. Find the best elementary school immersion program with the best teachers, because success at learning that language is important later on. If you have a good question for Heather, please email it by going to WCCO.com/links.